Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of the Immigrant Section. It's your boy, Abbas Wahab. As always, first things first, smash that subscribe right there wherever you're watching. If you're listening Apple, Spotify, whatever it is, plus follow, join the crew so you know when these episodes drop. And enough of the ground rules. In the studio with me today, the motherfucking Tex Eknes.
Okay, what's up? What's up? It's me, Tex Eknes.
What's poppin'? Brand new whip just hopped in?
Basically, the whip is called the TTC bus. It's called the 35 Jane bus, dog. No.
Did you bus here?
No, I didn't.
Okay, yeah. Everyone loves to self-deprecate. You know what I mean? Bro, it's the bus,
Well,
man.
I live in the city, so I don't drive,
Don't
but
you
I
have a
can
Mustang?
drive. Yo, I got enough, dog. I can't keep track. That's the problem, right? When when you have so many whips, you're like, yeah, brand new whip just hopped in. I don't even know which one it is, right? So yeah. But no, man, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Hell yeah, bro.
But this
Of
is
course.
sweet setup. I'm loving this.
Ever since I had Che on and he was like, yo, Tex was on that group chat, fucking talking to all these. I'm like, yo, why didn't I have Tex on?
yeah.
Dude, I don't know if you remember this, but when I was living in London and I first moved back to Canada and was coming to Toronto to do stand-up, I joined a roast battle, Aaron Rebello, and the first time I ever roasted anyone was you. Do you remember us roasting?
Yeah, and you had way less experience than me, and you wiped the floor with me. It was a pretty one. I thought I was doing okay, but your jokes were like legit funny. I was like, fuck, all right, damn.
I still have them.
Yeah, no, it's good.
There's
That was my
still-
first time meeting you, and I'm like, who's this handsome fucking bastard trying to do comedy? And then I was like, no, he's actually funny. Like, great, perfect.
Doesn't help that I was fixing my eyebrows the whole time, right?
Whatever, bro. It was sick. Nah,
Damn
that
that
roast was hilarious. It was like candlelit. And
Yeah, was that
very romantic. I don't know.
Roses, or where was it again?
Yeah, right off Front Street, like Bathurst and Front. So your roses something, yeah. And like half the people there, I don't think they knew it was a roast. I don't know what was going on, but it was good. It was funny.
Dude, that was the first time I still have, like, I was like, yo, I gotta have Tex on ever since that came up.
Yeah.
And I searched you in the thing.
Yeah.
Dude, I still have all of the
so
roast
funny.
jokes.
Yeah,
and it's so funny because that was the first time I ever that was the first time I ever decided to roast or was ever in a roast situation. Like, at that point, I was doing stand-up for 1 year.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less.
Yeah.
So I remember just going to your Facebook profile and then just writing.
That's basically,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of, when you're doing a roast, especially against someone you don't know.
You don't know.
You have to, that's all I did too. I was like, I'm like, oh, engineer, whatever, who cares? Ha, ha, ha. It was all, but the thing is, it comes out of love. Like, there's never, I mean, I know a couple of them got a bit weird, I think.
Do you remember?
Roast.
I don't remember anyone that. Did you ever see ones where it was like relationships ended?
Because of it?
Yeah.
For like friendships or whatever?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
Or things get violent, like an Eminem 8 Mile situation?
No, not that I've seen, but like I guess you hear of it, right? Like, because sometimes people just take it too far and it's just not funny. I don't know. Probably happens in weddings. Like a wedding roast would be more likely to be like, why'd you bring that up in front of my family?
Because of the alcohol.
I guess so. Yeah, you're just too many whiskeys, and you're just like, I'll bring up shit from 30 years ago. Who cares? Remember that illegitimate child you had? Like, what? He's like, yeah, the dude's washing the dishes, father. But yeah, it's usually pretty good. I mean, the worst thing about roasts is when someone doesn't do well. Like when it's like bare. Because I think I did okay, per se. But
No. It wasn't like I'm like, because like Patrick Fishman, these guys. We have a couple people in the Toronto scene who have become like roast gods.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
They specialize in roasting.
Exactly.
And it's like, like Tony Hinchcliffe and people like this who roast so much.
That's what they're known
now they
for.
think in roast
That's
form.
right, exactly. It's just these one quick little, bubba boom, insult. Bang,
Sebastian Fazio.
Yeah, he's like built this whole thing off.
Guys like that, if they go up against someone who has never done a roast before, it's kind of uncomfortable because they're getting they get decimated.
Yeah.
And the crowd kind of wants to be like,
Yeah. Well, you see it more now too because like I grew up watching, obviously Comedy Network stuff, but like the comedy, the roasts, right? Comedy Central roasts.
Alec Baldwin.
Oh, some of them so good, and some of the funniest ones weren't actually comics, right? They were just like actors, like Martha Stewart. She's smashed, right?
But they always have writers, though,
Exactly.
right?
No. It's real comedic writers,
Yeah.
but there's a certain cadence too, like a deliverance that you have to have, I think. But the roasts that we take part in, at least, are mostly like it was like facing off against each other, which you don't see.
Two people on stage.
It's like bigger now, right?
Everyone, the way that they know roast is it'll be like what's his name, Jeff whatever, roast master.
Yeah, Jeff Ross.
Jeffrey Ross.
Yeah.
It'll be like someone being roasted on whatever, Adult Swim.
Yeah.
And they're in like a throne.
Yeah.
And then there's a podium, and everyone takes the stand,
dais and each
the
person,
dais,
yeah,
and
they
then
get
they roast.
roasted, yeah.
Whereas like at low level open mic roasting, it's two no-name nobodies get on stage, two mic stands, sometimes one mic stand,
Honestly,
and the guy
you
just
pass
steps to the
mic,
right.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, you pass the mic, step to the right. It's like, it's like way more battle rap, which is like
grimy.
Like, exactly, right? That's how it should be. That's how beginning comedy should be. It shouldn't just be like, oh, you have no experience here, get on TV and do this. Because that's how you have someone like Mike the Situation, who had a team of writers, I guess. Like, I don't know who
That was
would
the
write.
Trump roast, right?
Yeah, where he was like banging models on my pile of money under my bed, and everyone's just like, what?
Cringing.
Yeah. Or Ann Coulter too, just eating. Like, I don't know, man. If maybe they had writers.
If you are such an unlikable person, it almost doesn't matter with the writers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you need people need to like you a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, people have already decided. Yeah, especially Ann Coulter too. They built how, like, we all know how evil she is. But
She's
the
like
whole
a witch.
time, yeah, and the whole time they're saying how evil she was, and then she went up and immediately was eating shit. So she didn't even have a chance, and then wasn't funny on top. So it's just like, yeah, once you've made that decision, you can't. The people can't bounce back, right? So
Ann Coulter has 0 lips.
yeah.
Have you ever looked like as lipless
Her
as
skin,
possible?
yeah, is like
It's
stretched. Yeah.
Taut.
Yeah, probably under her hair, it's like all knotted up, right?
Yeah.
It's just at night she releases it and it just hangs down. That's scary, man. I don't even know if she's still alive, bro. Like,
I just remember everyone being super outraged by her all the time, just because it was like the things she would say are the most like triggering things possible.
Well, just a blonde, skinny white woman, just like such arrogance
She's like,
too.
Muslims are not people, or
Yeah,
whatever
and
she
you're
would
just
say.
like, oh, you're like,
yeah.
excuse me? Wait, what do you mean? They just cut? Like, she got away. Why is she not in jail right now? Yeah, it's fucked up.
Oh, dude. But I actually missed the roast. I don't even remember. When was the last good roast?
Oh, I think like the Justin Bieber roast was pretty good.
D'Elia was up on that one, right?
Yeah.
D'Elia was up on that one. Obviously, Jeff Ross.
Yeah.
Jeff Ross, this guy he's built a whole career out of roasts.
Yeah, he even had that old TV show, right? Like, K. Trevor Wilson was on it too. He beat Jimmy Carr, I think it was.
Oh, like roast battle.
Yeah.
It lasted like a season or two, right?
It did, yeah. And that was like a more battle roast type thing. But yeah, it's his whole brand, right? Like, I don't know if I would pay to see him do stand-up.
Oh, never.
He's
Never.
a funny roast guy. He came with, I think he had like the braids that one roast. Like, I don't know, man.
I'm like, is this guy bald or not?
Who knows?
Yeah,
He's
what is
one year no hair at all. The next is like full afro. I don't know.
And they don't look like wigs either. That's the confusing part.
Because people grab his hair,
Yeah,
right? It's a
yeah.
roast. So he's like, whoa, whoa. And you're like, how's that not coming off? Yeah, it's
so
pretty scary.
confusing.
With Greg Giraldo. Those were like, not Greg Giraldo. What's his name? Yeah, Greg Giraldo.
Yeah. He went off. He went off the deep end with drugs and stuff, didn't he? He
yeah.
died. Right?
Oh, yeah, he died a while ago. But he was the funniest. So when he passed away, I felt like the roast kind of, I don't know.
I don't know if I watched any roast back then.
No?
Was he
Was
God
great.
level?
Buddy, like the best. And he was like, had this like jacket, and he was just so, I can't remember any off the top of my head. But yeah, definitely look up like best of Greg Giraldo roasts.
I literally just watched his, what's it called? JFL stuff. And he's like a killer comic.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he was a roast guy because there's comics, it's almost like two camps a little
Big
bit,
time.
right?
Oh, no, for sure. Yeah, different beasts, right? Yeah, the roast.
The people that are like really good at one-liners seem to be in the roast camp.
Yeah.
And everyone else is kind of in like the traditional stand-up more camp.
Yeah.
So I thought he was actually more of like a traditional like guy that was out there touring like Tom Rhodes and Dave Attell and whatnot. I didn't realize but Dave Attell's kind of one-liner too.
Yeah, and like, and especially I guess, it depends your style too, right? Like if you're more of a machine gun, like fast-paced kind of comic where you said like one-liner sort of, then you would benefit with that. But I feel like roasts, it's also a good time. Like maybe if you're not the best stand-up performer, but you're a great writer, I feel like
That's where you shine.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're just you're reading.
It's
your
writing
jokes.
heavy.
Yeah,
there's no storytelling.
No,
it's like you got to get. With stand-up, there's a little bit of grace to like people can be like, exactly. You don't have to get right to the joke.
Yeah.
As long as we like you and you're saying something interesting.
Yeah,
you could take your
Personality comes
time.
through a lot more. Yeah,
But with a roast, is like you don't. It's like say the joke.
Funny. It
say
has
the
to
joke.
be funny. Exactly. Yeah.
Bro,
So I think Greg Giraldo was like a heavy stand-up comic, but I mean, if you haven't, I recommend watching because he's so good. Like, just the best part of the roast, easy. He buries everyone.
Gerald. Dude, I was going to ask you, Tex, your fucking name. Every time, I think I've asked you this like 30 times. Every time I've ever met you, what the fuck is Tex Eknes?
Okay, first.
And what happened to you on the playground growing up, bro?
Oh, my God.
What happened?
I spent grade 3 to grade 4.5 hanging upside down in the monkey bars. No, the kids strung me up. I was okay. Like, I was a funny kid, right? I never got picked last in sports, so luckily I never got bullied with a clown-ass name like this. My full name is, first name, Tex-Bolin. Tex Bolin.
What's a Bolin?
Yeah, right? So Tex Bolin Anton Eknes is my full name. So my parents did a lot of drugs in the 70s, is what I'm trying to tell you. No, but
That's a tongue twister.
Tex Bolin is the first name came from like an Austrian guitar player. Apparently, they met in a bar when they were like, because my dad was in a band in Europe and all this stuff, and they met some Austrian guitar player. His nickname was Tex, and they're like, okay, well, like, clearly you're giving us enough cocaine that we're gonna name our first and only child after you or something like that.
He's walking around with a bowling ball.
Yeah, right. No,
Tex is out bowling.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Tex
You're
bowling.
trying to piece it together, but no. Bolin comes from the lead singer of the band T-Rex. His name is Mark Bolin. So that's for some reason my namesake.
Tex Bolin.
Yeah.
So are both your parents Austrian?
No, I'm not even Austrian. I'm Norwegian Italian. So they're just like kind of hippie rock star, whatever the hell. Had a lot of fun, did a lot of partying, and they named their firstborn, their only child, Tex Bolin.
Norwegian Italian.
Yeah.
Which side do you get in more with? Norwegian is like, so you're like Dutch, Netherlands. Like,
no, that's like Scandinavian, Norwegian, Swedish, Finnish, Icelandic, stuff like that. But like Viking shit. But it's hard to say. Like, my Norwegian side is way more like Norwegian, but it's such a small family, like you go there and it's all just, well, I hope you're enjoying your dinner, like, because we had one meatball during the war and there were 8 children, and you're like, holy shit, like every
they
time.
always go back to the war?
It's always back to the war. It'll start with like, a nice, well, the sun is shining. Yeah, it is. Well, I remember the sun looked like this when my village got, murdered. And you're like, holy shit. It always ends in tragedy. Like, do you know your uncle Gunnar Funen? And you're like, yeah. Well, he died tragically of alcohol poisoning. You're like, what the fuck? Why? It's so, like, it's such a jolly sounding yumpy language that you get, like thrown off. And
it's like a mixed message.
Yeah, always dark.
What country specifically?
Norway.
In Norway.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
is Norway one of those countries that have like such a long winter where there's like barely any light? And the suicides go through.
Yeah. So in the summer, because I went there to visit in the summer, and there's like 4 hours of darkness. The rest is light. Like, the sun sets at 12:30 a.m., comes back up at like 4 a.m., whatever. But in the winter, it's the exact opposite. So you get like a few hours of light, and the rest is darkness. Like, yeah.
Jesus, I heard
so they go nuts.
I heard of I used to work with a guy. I used to work with Volvo back in the engineering days, and a Swedish guy. They said they would get 5 weeks of vacation in August. So they would like have their population enjoy the fuck out of the summer and the sun now, so you don't murder yourself.
Right.
Come December, November.
Yeah, they have like no jobless, no homeless, but high suicide rates and like, small gene pool, so they all look the same. It's they're good looking, they're beautiful, but they did it on purpose. They're like, pick and choose the good looking one, so it's your second cousin. Stay with your, like, my farmer, my grandma on my dad's side. I can't tell you how many times she's like, how your second cousin is quite cute these days, very beautiful. I'm like, stop pushing my family onto me. Like, you're trying to, like, keep it, like,
It's
keep
still
it
very much like that.
I guess so.
It's like the Arab world, dude. Same shit,
the same.
Yeah,
oh
man,
my
I know
God.
so many guys who married their cousins.
Right.
Standard. The rule is to stay away from the first cousin, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
First cousin, that's off the table.
Let's avoid Down syndrome math.
But
that's pretty much the gist of it.
What's your second cousin? And
Oh,
then you
Down
deviate.
syndrome. We're talking
third cousin, fourth cousin. No one even like bats an eye.
We're talking a point of a percent
That's
of Down
right,
syndrome.
exactly. Yeah. So go for it. I know.
What do people do for fun in fucking Norway?
What's
the vibe? Or do they ask you about, like, are you Canada boy up there? Anytime I get people here.
Canada boy? I don't know. It's hard to say. I last time I went there I was 12, so I don't really know. I didn't get like a chance to really fully experience it. And like, I went to visit family, and they live in a giant house with a trampoline. They have horses. The kids had cell phones. So that's back in like 2001. these kids like my age had cell phones, and
Jesus,
I'm just like
Nokia's probably, right?
Yeah, like Fido with razors. But I was just like blown away, and I'm like, yo, my family is like rich, bro. And they're like, no, these aren't the hillbillies, like, you know, these are the low class. And I'm just like, what? Giant house, cell phones. But you go in the city, they're like, everyone there's rich, bro. Like school's covered, you know, everything. So to like for fun, they have to find crazy stuff. Like one guy, Ula Harold, big like, you know, Viking dude.
This is a cousin?
He's, I don't know. Like
Wait, see that Ula Harold?
Yeah, Ula Harold.
Dude,
yeah.
that sounds like a fucking the high level like guy in your class in an anime.
Yeah.
Ula Harold that you.
Yeah.
Ula Harold that you.
Ula Harold Yeah. And just stands up, like, and his aura is coming out.
And then
like,
when the camera only shows up to here.
And then a smile. Like,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Wait, so you were saying about this dude?
No, he strapped a couch on the front of a bulldozer and drives it like along the side of mountains and stuff like that. Like the girls will go skiing, and it's like in the summer, there's still snow at the top of the mountain, but it's warm under, you know,
on
down
the base.
below.
Yeah.
So they'll ski in like bikinis and ha 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 and just like little boots and stuff. And they're just like, what the fuck? Like, and then they land and they're just like, hey, and they just don't think it, you know. They're just crazy, jumping off fjords.
Are people sitting in the couch like as he's going with the bulldozer?
Yeah, I did it. And you have like goats running along and stuff like that. Like, you know, they're pretty crazy. Like they do a lot of weird, you know, extreme sports stuff. I think they're heavy into drugs too.
Yeah. I was gonna say any of these places that have like, there's money.
Yeah.
It's a small population. Like there is some wealth all around and not much to do.
Yeah.
Drugs are always rampant.
Yeah, everything. I mean, like things cost a lot. I remember back when I went, and that was like 2001, 2002. A can of Coke was like $5 Canadian. Like that's
fuck.
but they all make that much money.
That's like
right?
Switzerland.
Yeah, they just make so much money. But everything was crazy expensive. So like
it just readjusts.
Yeah, and it all goes like back into the economy and stuff. Like they're just very tight knit, you know.
What about the Italian side though?
Yeah, the Italian side. My Italian side is like way more like but they're not like, you know, authentico Italian. Like all my uncles married munja cakes. You know, all my like everyone like, so no one's actually with like a
Is
full
munja cake like a half breed?
No, munja cake's like white, bro. Like super white bread.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Kraft dinner.
Like Canadian.
Yeah,
gotcha.
super Canadian.
Like St. Thomas person.
Basically, yeah, like super Canadian. But they all married munja cakes, and my cousins included. Like when I go to the extended family. For our like family things, for, you know, like you'll have a Christmas party or we do Easter, then it's massive and it's way more Italian that way. Like my Aunt Lucy makes crazy, you know, peppers, sausage peppers. You get the
Yo,
cutlets.
let me confirm this with you. I had not Mark Anthony on here, and he said there's something called scarpetta,
where you wipe up
wipe it. Is
yeah.
that like? Is it if you do that at a restaurant? Is it kind of like shameful?
I see that because
Yeah.
He said he went to Italy. I've never
So
been
he
to
went
Italy.
in Rome in a high
Rome,
class
and they
place.
they were like, no, it's insulting. But yeah, like
but at the house,
that's what we do.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
That's normal. It's
sometimes you just pour a thing of sauce just to do it.
Just
I don't
to do
know.
it.
Like, or you dip it in the sauce. I grew up. That was the way we always did
it's
it.
a sign of respect. Yeah, in my culture,
sign of respect. You love it so much.
Yeah,
that I ate everything. And then if you're still hungry, there's usually more. It's not like, oh, this is all you could give me. It's like, no, I've eaten enough. Oh, I got a little bit of room left for the bread, right? So I don't understand, but I guess
I think that's in-home dining,
Maybe.
right? The in-home shit, because from my culture, it's the exact same thing. Yeah. The way to get a pat on the head as a kid is, look,
finish
I cleaned
your
the plate.
If you didn't finish it,
I didn't just finish it.
Yeah.
I wiped it clean.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't finish it. You know, especially on my dad's side, they're like, "Oh, you don't like my cooking." Like they take it personally when you don't finish, and it's just like, "No, man." Like. So I don't know. That was crazy to hear because I've never heard about that being an issue before.
Fucking Mark Anthony, that motherfucker was just motherfuckers out on here making up shit.
I don't know.
I'm looking at you, Mark Anthony. If you're watching this, I know what the fuck you're up to.
He's like full Italian.
Yeah, he's Italiano.
Yeah, and when he said he didn't speak Italian,
yeah,
I don't speak it either.
You could see it in his face how much people pick on him and talk shit. He's just
with
like
a name like Mark
He's
Anthony.
like
Mark Anthony, you know, yeah. But. No, you know the foods, you know the swear words, and then like that's about it. All you need, right? And then you have like the old relatives will talk, you know, speak to you in Italian. And you're just like, but the thing with Italian is like you don't. It's the joke is like, oh, tie their hands behind their back. You won't know what they're saying. It's true, man. Like so expressive that you don't really need to say words, and you have like the whole story.
Like they emote
out.
so well.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I saw the whole thing. Like you know all the players, you know, involved. So I don't know.
Versus on the Norway side, it's just pure.
no emotion, nothing is funny. If you saw what I grew up in, nothing's funny. Like, I don't know. It comes from like this whole like you die with your sword, go to Valhalla. Like they have a sense of humor, but it's really weird. And like if you look in history, like all the Vikings who fought, like the funniest ones were always like the funniest like speeches or moments were right before death. Like, you know, you had what's his name, Ragnar, the one from the TV show Vikings. He's thrown, well, spoilers if you haven't seen
Marvel?
it, but it's in
You're
history.
talking about the Marvel world.
No, yeah, I know. It's like
You had
real
Thor, of course, and and Iron Man 2,
Odin
naturally.
and Loki. Yeah, no, I grew up like listening that they're real creature, you know, like real mythological beings. But it's always like, yeah, the dude was thrown in a pit of snakes, so he makes a joke to the king, being like, the boar is going to be chased by the pigs. Ha ha ha! Enjoy it. And he's like, what the hell? But it means like his sons are coming to kill.
No, I think the poison was already entering his bloodstream.
You know what I mean? He's like laughing
I think
hysterically.
I think that's
Everyone's
delirium.
just like, the fuck? He's like purple and blue. His eyes are bulging out.
My God, let's remember the words he said exactly.
Oh, just write that down. Yeah, this is gold right here.
I think he was lucid.
yeah,
the
yeah.
boar was coming to the thing.
But it's always like really, dark sense of humor, grim, and then in the face of danger too. So I don't know. It's like there is a sense of humor there, but most of the time it's like straight up just no, like, you know.
That's interesting, dude. Because I'll be honest with you, I've been to Europe a bunch of times. I got nothing against the Scandinavian countries. There's nothing like when you hear about people going from Canada or the States to backpack Europe. No one's like, I can't wait to hit Finland.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hit Norway.
No,
They go Spain, Paris. They go Prague.
Right.
They go Budapest.
Exactly, the
they
spots.
go London.
Yeah, no.
No one's like, I want to go to Stockholm.
We gotta go.
Yeah, Stockholm is the most popular of the
I
Scandinavian.
would say Stockholm, the most recognizable for sure. I mean, I know Oslo gets some love, but it's like if you don't
Oslo
is
is
Norway's capital.
That's supposed to be sick, actually.
It is, and there's a great nightlife. You know, if you like skiing, it's got like the biggest ski hill. Yeah, exactly. If you love just pure drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you're not into like sort of scenery and the culture is great, don't get me wrong, but it's like the food's kind of bland. Like it's nothing like, oh my God, it's like meat,
like
potatoes.
Germany and stuff like that.
Yes.
Like all that area, they just get like bratwurst.
Yeah.
And like pink pork dishes and potato.
Yeah, goose liver, cold sausage or whatever the hell it is.
They're like, I need some red.
Yeah,
Here's on
Schweizwurst.
Yeah.
On Schweizwurst? You're like, what is this? Schweizwurst. Like, okay.
What's Weisswurst?
I don't know. It's like some white fucking, it doesn't exist.
What Weisswurst?
It's something Wurst. I think it's called Weisswurst. I think it's just called white wurst. And it's like a weird, gross white sausage. I'm pretty sure it's served raw.
Dude, all of that stuff over there, I can't eat. And it's like a biscuit on the side and something like that. You're like,
if you're lucky. And like, you know, salt and pepper at most. You know what I mean? Maybe.
Like what happened with the cuisine? How can a culture have a palate that is just, it seems so mild and underdeveloped relative to the Italians will say, which is what, probably couple 1,000 kilometers away, right?
Yeah.
Like not that far. Or the French, even closer.
Yeah.
Or even in Amsterdam, even Netherlands, it wasn't bad.
What I think, I don't know, because
What
Vikings, they
You
traveled.
can't really
obviously.
grow anything there. Is that why?
Like Iceland, no, they were, or yeah, like certain parts of Iceland they weren't able to.
Or Norway.
Yeah, Norway too. Like they super harsh climates. Now it's better. Like, you know, a lot of farming and everything, but. The Vikings like set out to find Vinland, which was Canada, because it was like such a beautiful, robust country. Then obviously there was like the tribes and the natives, but they worked toward. There's no genocide on their side, I believe. Like there was just
that was the white man.
Yeah, well, like the later white man, the European white man.
Yeah.
They were the original, but like I don't know about like they weren't the slave trade, but it wasn't like they went after a specific culture slave. It was like, oh,
but
you're
they were
lesser
the
than.
Original rapers, pillagers.
They
right?
raped a lot. I know.
Yeah,
That's
they
like
did.
so. That's why you go to Sicily and you're like blonde hair, blue eye, you know, freckle, red hair, green eye. You're like, where the hell did that come from? Oh, it was obviously raped in by the Vikings. But like, I don't know. It's sad, but I think a lot of them they settled, right? Because like they're settlers too. So the
Iceland
ones
is all like everyone in Iceland right now is a relative of like all the
like Leif Erikson,
all the all the locals are like descendants of Vikings.
I'd say they're the closest. I think Norway's pretty close too, but
and Denmark is where they started, or is Denmark?
well, they were called the Danes.
Yeah.
When they like the European, like the Saxons, the Danes are coming. When it's just like a northerner, right, who rowed a boat over. They were bigger than the normal guy, which is like my height.
Yeah.
Was like considered a giant back then. And they had no fear, right? They would take like mushrooms and then get shot with an arrow and still go and kill a tribe of people. So they were feared, but they were like called the Danes. I know Denmark kind of existed. It was like Sweden, Norway, Iceland kind of thing, but they were all like fighting with each other. There wasn't like actual separate sort of countries. And then it eventually, once they got kings and stuff like that, they were able to like get their independence.
I don't know shit about Vikings. All I know is that the show is supposed to be great. All my boys
awesome
are watching
show.
Vikings.
Culturally or like historically, I don't think it's very accurate.
Since when is accuracy led to?
Oh, excuse me. Rolo was supposed to actually be born 200 years.
If you're watching it for that, go fuck yourself. But it's like
Accuracy
a great show
doesn't
with good fighting.
Do anything for drama or storytelling.
Exactly.
Fuck
Yeah,
accuracy.
you gotta-
Game
gotta
of Thrones. That's nothing. That's dragons.
Yeah,
It's fucking-
exactly.
It's the most popular shit in like a decade.
It's great because it's like it seems like it could be happening, and the story is like so deep kind of thing. But no, never are you like they wouldn't be using that kind of armor in that era. And you're just like, holy shit. Which I see that in a lot, like especially Viking stuff. Whoa, they actually didn't cultivate this until then, and like, they wouldn't be wearing fur if it was actually the year 795.
exactly.
And you're like, bro, just really, man? Like,
Fur
really?
didn't come into existence until their northern trek in 18. Like,
Yeah,
shut up.
and they're like they're speaking
Stop.
full English. Like obviously we're not,
right?
Why was
That guy's got a Galaxy S4.
This guy has an accent. That guy doesn't. Yeah. He has a watch. Like I don't really.
That's
give
a black
shit.
Viking.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like,
he's a
it's
gay
cool
black
to see.
Viking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool to see. But like, are we really like upset about it?
So jokes, dude.
Yeah.
So, like the people that nitpick that shit, it's like, go get a life, yo. Just stick to the history books. No one
make your
said
own or
anything.
something,
Yeah,
yeah.
do your own thing. Like this
Yeah.
is for drama. This is for TV. This is
right.
not part of National Geographic. Okay,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is for people to enjoy watching.
Yeah, and if it's not like full on, just like oh god, this is like like really badly done, where it shows like okay, yeah, you can like whatever like your disbelief, right?
I don't know the words, so
know,
don't lean on me for words.
Suspend your disbelief.
That's my boy right there.
Yeah.
He found it.
If it's good enough,
Yeah.
where you're just like, oh, I feel like they would have that hair, or like they would obviously wear leather. If it's fine and the acting's good and the story's good and the fighting's
there.
good, what the hell else?
Yeah, what do you want?
Matters. It's a TV show.
That's the best thing about anime, right?
Yeah.
That there's
here we
no
go.
one's got a dog in the race in that sense. It's like it's not accurate. It's like shut up.
It's gods fighting aliens. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I know. Be quiet. That's why I love that there's a genre that, and you are the self-proclaimed anime god, if I
That's
understand
me.
this correctly.
I'm the weebo.
You're wearing a brawly.
Otaku. And in case, and I've got like Dragon Ball underneath as well, just in case anybody needs to know.
Not only that, but you came with 4 posters.
I think there's
Great posters, by the way.
Please, by all means, if you want. I had to take them down.
I don't have the room. No,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to keep them because that one's the original Z stuff.
Yeah.
We were talking before about Dragon Ball versus like the original Dragon Ball series, and then Dragon Ball Z, and then obviously how GT was a massacre, and then Super they kind of duct taped the whole thing back together. Pretty much what they learned through that whole series, in my opinion, is that it's easy to create, and people love a world martial art tournament, right?
But yeah, for sure. And it's
But what I love about Dragon Ball had the most heart. Dragon Ball was the best storytelling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then Dragon Ball Z got more like, okay, power levels. It's all just focused fully on that.
Yeah, I know. They're two different. Like technically it's the same series. Like
Yeah.
in the manga, there's no
There's no stop.
the last fight from Dragon Ball, which was
Like with
Goku,
King Piccolo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or Piccolo Jr.
Oh.
Yeah. So the
Fun fact.
current Piccolo,
Yeah.
the best. He like after their fight in I think it was like the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai, probably one of the best.
What Tenkaichi Budokai?
Tenkaichi Budokai is like strongest under the heavens, I think is what it means. But that's the name of the tournament that, it's the Tenkaichi Budokai tournament that's been going on.
Oh, we call it World Martial Arts.
Yeah, here in the West.
Tenkaichi Budokai.
Tenkaichi Budokai desu ka? And it was Piccolo versus Goku, which is crazy, right? Like holes blown through, all that stuff.
egg.
Awesome fight. This was after the egg because when he was a kid, he fought King Piccolo.
Yeah.
Like, went through him.
And
When
then
all his limbs were broken except
Yeah.
for one.
Yeah.
Piccolo left him with one limb, so he used that to go through and then punch a hole through him. But before he did that, he's like, I'm going to give birth to, my reincarnation of evil. Ugh. and then that Piccolo, who is only 4 years older than Gohan. Like, it's like, which is really weird. Everyone calls him his dad, his real dad, but they're closer to brothers. I don't know.
Bro, have you ever run a Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z trivia night somewhere? Because if you haven't,
I should, right?
you're wasting your knowledge.
I
dude.
guess so.
You're wasting all this, bro.
And
The way you're hitting, you're like, I can just see it right now. You're at a bar somewhere, like,
oh, buddy,
six people in the bar. How much older is Piccolo actually from Gohan?
True,
this is a trick
true.
question.
Yeah,
He's not actually his father.
Yeah.
And remember, no using phones.
That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Only the real fans will know this one. If you don't even know this, might as well head out already. Because it's
1
gonna
second.
get,
The business owner is telling me now that this whole
How
thing
many
is being shut
blasts
down.
did Vegeta shoot at Cell after Cell? You're like,
Trick question. The answer is not enough.
Yeah. Question, it's not energy blasts. They were actually.
Oh, I did a video one time about that. How those in the whole Dragon Ball series, that energy blast move never once worked.
Right.
It's always the move of desperation.
It's the move. Listen, Dragon Ball Z. That's why I love Dragon Ball Z. But Dragon Ball, as I get older, I feel like I kind of like that a bit more.
Dragon Ball?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
because it's proper storytelling. Dragon Ball Z just leaned so heavily. Once they introduced Super Saiyan 1, it was done.
That's where it could have ended. It could have
was
ended there.
exactly.
And it would have been like from Dragon Ball, the beginning of Dragon Ball, to the end of the Frieza saga, where he goes Super Saiyan, and then it's like sort of left, you don't know really what happens after. That would be like a sweet little, but it was too popular, right? So
exactly.
I love the Android Cell saga. Buu saga's all right.
It's beautiful, but in my opinion,
yeah.
this is like we're extra nerding out, but we've got a lot of Dragon Ball Z fans. I've had already Dragon Ball Z episodes, but the Kaioken stuff was almost better than Super Saiyan.
Because it had so much like, okay,
Build
you can go
up to it.
and it's like you can go times 3,
But you'll destroy your body.
Goku, like, and especially for me, the aesthetic too, like. When Goku was so big, because it was like early 90s, right? So they're all like, Ronnie Coleman's steroid dudes. So Goku was like massive, but his like muscles were pulsating, and it's like, bro, that was your last attack.
it's
You
red.
can't do it. And then Vegeta comes back, and you're like, oh shit! Like everyone played their own part. Yajirobe came back, sliced the tail. You had Krillin who had to like hold the spirit bomb, throw it at Gohan. Gohan had to bounce it back because Gohan's pure of heart, so he could bounce it back. So for Dragon Ball Z, early Dragon Ball Z storytelling is great. But yeah, it got to a point where, like you said, the energy blast was a thing of desperation. It would always be, which is so funny, they'd blast and a huge cloud of smoke, and the guy would be like, smug, haha, got him. And then the smoke would disappear, and the guy's
He's
like,
not even
unfazed.
affected.
Yeah, and you're like, what? Yeah.
He's not even affected.
No, that was my best attack. And you're like, oh my god, bro, every time.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, oh, I can sense his energy from across the universe, but you can't realize that he's standing behind a cloud of smoke. Go fuck yourself. So that's why I felt
That's
like it
the
got
stuff
lazy.
that's happening in the
And they
the
did,
forums, right?
They barely did. Yeah, they barely did a Tenkaichi Budokai, but it quickly turned into the Buu saga, right? Where like Vegeta gets Majin and all that stuff. But I don't think they could do it in Dragon Ball Z. Like Che mentioned the otherworldly tournament with the guy
Pycon.
with the spin. He takes off the turban and the cape, and it's like heavy equipment,
the
like
cool
Piccolo.
Supreme Kai
He's
or
basically
whatever.
Piccolo,
Yeah.
but the other, which was fine.
Yeah.
He was going toe to toe with Super Saiyan Goku, and it's only in the anime at first. They brought it back in Super, which I think it actually might only be in the anime still. But Goku going Super Saiyan then Kaioken. You didn't see that ever, but he did it, and Pycon went up against him toe to toe, and you're like, who is this guy? Why is he so strong? And what killed him? Why is he in the other world? How, if he's this strong,
That's a good question.
What the hell killed him, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
We'll never know. But the Dragon Ball tournaments were like, they were long. There were fights that span, like sometimes you're reading the manga and it's a fight, for chapter after chapter of Krillin, going up against some random guy. Bacterion.
It was always like 100 times the size of him.
Exactly.
Krillin always was with
Bacterion
guys
and-
who were absurdly large.
Always, you had to. That was the whole thing,
Because
right?
he's small, they're big, but he
Exactly,
still
and they're just
beats them
like-
because he has the will to learn and fight.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then at the end, there's always humility. I underestimated you at first, and now you've shown me there's a lot to learn.
That's right, exactly.
You know what I
I
mean?
thought I'd reached the limit of my power, but I have still so much farther to grow.
Dude, that is an
Higher.
anime trope that's the best.
Oh, I love it so much. It's all about like your inner person. I don't always like the main characters in the animes. They're kind of just like the driving force, especially
Exactly.
Goku. Like Goku just shows up and
every
beats
show,
the guy.
every
Yeah.
show is this.
They're the new. I don't know if you're on it. Jujutsu Kaisen. You heard about that one? It's like big.
You're like
the
the
anime's
10th.
big
You're
now.
like the 10th person who goes, bro. Jujutsu. My little brother's like, bro.
You
get
like
on."
Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like an amalgamation of that. A little bit of Naruto, like the
I
the
miss
way
Yu
they
Yu
look.
Hakusho.
Yeah,
that was like
they
the
don't make
90s.
them like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
anymore, right? It was simple. The song had like even the English version of the song was like like really good, right? Like some jazz.
I ran so far away.
Like,
That song, right?
I think that was for
Dude, that was Yu Yu Hakusho's
was it?
intro.
I thought that was what's it called?
That's what the laptop's here,
the
brother.
Knights of the Zodiac.
Oh,
I think they
you literally might be right.
I think it was Knights of the Zodiac using Flock of Seagulls song.
Hakusho intro.
Yeah, I don't know. They might have, but I don't think so.
Smile at Obama, dude.
Oh yeah,
I think I was watching.
it's like some really upbeat elevator music in Tokyo.
And we just got the episode flagged.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's been nice. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
But no, like, yeah.
But Jujutsu Kaisen.
It's so good. And the main character, he's one of my favorite characters. Like super dark right off the bat. Like the shit he goes, it's all that. Like, my family was taken away. But it's just like he's given, like whatever a deadline for his life, basically. So right off the bat, at some point he's going to be executed.
So what's the general premise? For the anime lovers out there that are on the
Jujutsu Kaisen, Itadori, Yuji Itadori, he is a high school kid, obviously.
Naturally.
Stronger than
that
the
goes
average.
without saying.
Yeah,
yes.
strong. He's like 14.
Crazy haircut.
Looks like he's like 25, jacked. Pink hair, but like with the fade.
Quick thing for non-anime watchers out there: if you are watching an anime and you don't know which character to pay attention to, whoever has a lot of hair focus, that's a character to pay attention to. If someone has a buzz cut in an anime, that means they are a side character.
That's
they
right.
will never be a protagonist.
That's right. Yeah,
Nothing of importance will come from
They
them.
will have a moment where they do like a jump kick from out of frame to save the main character.
Yes,
so
they will
they'll
show
have a
potential.
moment. They
Yes.
might have a fight, but
Correct.
they'll fade into obscurity soon
Quite
after.
quickly.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, he's a high school kid.
But yes, the pink hair, colored hair.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool too. It's like a light pink, pastel. But he's stronger than whatever.
Like Doflamingo.
Like his whatever his small
thing.
Like what's his name? From Fairy Tale, Natsu. Fairy Tale.
I miss Fairy Tale.
It's like about mages.
Isn't it funny? I feel like the loser right now. I'm like, I miss Fairy Tale.
You don't know about Black Clover? You don't know about Berserk? Come on, bro.
I read Berserk too.
Oh, you read Berserk?
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
That shit
Berserk
was
is crazy.
That shit was like.
But just quickly, if you want to watch
Jujutsu Kaisen.
he is part of like some group at school that's like paranormal, supernatural investigators, like nerds, right? But then they actually get like targeted by a curse. The whole thing in that is like your curses. You know how every anime has their power
hierarchy.
Yeah, exactly. You have Bankai, Super Saiyan, whatever the hell power level. Yeah. There is his curses. So you have your curse techniques,
Which was also what's it called? The Bankai episode, Bleach.
Yeah.
Remember?
They had curses?
Yeah, remember? It's like incantation number 94.
Oh, like their moves. Yeah. But
yeah.
this is like their Bankai would be like their domain release kind of thing. So their curse is like,
So like
if you have
Naruto,
curse,
the gates.
yeah, or like chakra, like
Gotcha.
sort of or Bleach was Ryatsu,
Yeah.
like they'll have versions of aura and stuff, but your curse like this. Oh, the pressure of his curse is like pushing me back.
Gotcha.
I can't even
It's a
breathe.
hockey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's their form of power, and they can do their moves with it, techniques.
Yeah.
So like, they get attacked by a curse, and then he accidentally eats one of the fingers of the strongest demon or curse like to ever exist. So he eats one of the fingers, and then like the thing sort of takes over his body, sort of.
Gotcha.
So he like kind of goes in and out, and then the high school. With the sorcerers who go after these curses, they are like, oh, he has the finger in him. He's going to eventually become Sukuna, who's like the evil demon.
So he's in the high school to go after demons.
Yeah.
But he has a little bit of demon in him.
Yeah. So he was supposed
and everyone
to
else
be...
doesn't have demon in them.
No.
It's abnormal to have demon in you.
Exactly.
Because
yeah.
you're fighting demons.
Yeah, like
Gotcha.
he like it takes over his body, and at any point it could like sort of blow, destroy the world.
But when it's not taking over his body, he's like, I'll take them all down.
Basically, yeah, he's
Gotcha.
a really cool. No, and he learns how to fight, and
Yeah.
he's badass and everything. Never backs down.
Gotcha.
But he has a a death sentence because they're like, okay, no. Once he eats all the fingers, Sukuna is going to like take
him
over
over.
fully, and then we'll have to execute him. Like before it happens,
Gotcha.
we'll wipe Sukuna off the earth.
Gotcha.
His fingers will be gone. Unfortunately, Itadori had to die in the crossfire kind of thing. So he knows this, and as he eats more fingers, he gets stronger. Like sort of gets more of the demon abilities, kind of like he can access them. So it's kind of like he's helping the world, but he's also not, and he still has a death sentence. It's great. That's just like barely scratched the surface, And they
How many seasons are out?
Just the first season came out. The manga goes pretty far.
Dude, just the number of people. Is it, that moment, like in anime, usually they have you see their animation budget.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have the opening scene. They'll have normal stuff. They'll introduce everybody. It's in a classroom, something.
Yeah.
But then that first scene where they depict the nature and scale of power.
Yeah.
First, suddenly the animation's way more dense and high quality, right?
Yeah, because it has to, yeah.
Is it like that? You know, like when, in One Piece, when the main fights happen against Doflamingo and stuff.
Bring in the best animators.
It's like 4K. It's like God level. Is it Jujutsu Kaisen? Is it more simplistic? Like, you know how like One Punch Man makes a joke of that, how he looks like garbage, and then when he fights the people, they shade the hell out of his face.
Right, his muscles start to show, yeah. No, it's not like, and luckily it's seasonal, right? Same with like My Hero Academia. Boku no Hero Academia. It's seasonal, so they put way more love into each episode. So it's like, it never breaks. Like, whereas you watch Dragon Ball Z, literally one episode looks one way and another episode looks another. Like, go to the Frieza saga, go to the Android saga. One episode will be drawn really well. Like, there's one specifically during the Cell fight with Goku before he gives him a senzu bean and sends his 10-year-old to fight him.
Well, it's like they just mailed it in.
Yeah, where it's like they hire.
It's like block.
It's so that's why I like the
one
manga before.
Like Crayola coloring.
There's an animator. He's like so famous for doing just like the pointy nose kind of thing. So you're just like, why am I watching this? But then the next episode's awesome. Yeah. And he's like, same guy. Trunks will be turning Super Saiyan. He's like so jacked and ripped. The hair looks great. But then the episode after is just like, yeah. So that's when it's like a Saturday morning cartoon. Same thing with One Piece. Naruto did the same thing. Bleach as well. Sort of, so it's like really
and even
simplistic.
They have crazy number of episodes. Yeah, they have to like tone down just for the sake of like efficiency.
Exactly.
But like Jujutsu Kaisen,
tight schedule,
high quality every time.
Yeah, because it's seasonal. So anything that's seasonal is usually just like pretty across the board solid. Like the fights are awesome. It's I love the manga, but
when you say seasonal, it's just like
so it'll release like
September to April,
something like that. So it'll come out every week, and it'll only be about like 25 episodes or something like that.
As opposed
and
to
then
like,
they'll take a break for the rest of the year and then come back. Exactly.
Recoup.
Yeah. Whereas normally if you're doing like a serialized sort of just like every week. Bro, like these dudes never take breaks.
Like these shonen jumps,
like
they
garbage.
can't stop.
They never take breaks. Yeah, these poor guys, like the animators are doing mountains in the back because like the top guy is like doing the characters, right? None of them take breaks, even the top guy.
What's the hierarchy of animation?
It's like a lot of like interns and stuff will come right out of like animation school or like drawing school, I guess, and go right in and get paid next to nothing if like they get paid at all, and just work these stupid crazy hours because it's an opportunity and it's like a foot in the door.
Anime is life. Anime is like bigger than the NBA is in the States, or like bigger than any.
In
like
Japan,
it's in Japan. It's like,
man.
Just let me get into
amount
this
of
industry.
Stores and media, like even their Olympics, right? Goku's the mascot or something like that. Like
actually,
Tokyo Olympics it was like Goku. So anime is like such a like staple. Right?
It is the biggest export. Yeah, Japanese export.
The movies
in the world.
The anime movies that always like smash the box office too, right? Like the Demon Slayer one that came out, Mugen Train. It just came to the West like last.
I watched
weekend.
The show. I never. Is it good?
It's supposed to be unbelievable. I can't find it.
I thought you were gonna say I can't say. I'm like, what?
No, I know. I've been, actually,
I actually signed an NDA.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen it. I read
Torrent,
it in
my friend.
Yeah, I know.
You buy?
No.
Yeah.
But I just haven't done like the actual like sit down research to find a good version of it, and I don't want it dubbed either. I'm like kind of a snob when it comes to that. I only watch sub. I can't stand the English dub. Okay.
Of course.
So let's get that out of the let's get that out of the way.
But that's not even that snobby.
No, it isn't, right?
Your knowledge of that Piccolo thing you just said earlier about he's actually only 4 years older than Gohan. That's way higher level of snobbery.
Okay.
Across the board level, like let's say the level 2 anime fans know to be like I only watch subs. Even if they watch dubs when no one is around.
That's right. They don't
they
let
know to
anyone
be
else.
like
that's right.
It's only subs.
So that's pretty
right?
well, and that's what you're talking about like
for people who don't understand, if you watch an anime and you want to always watch it in the original Japanese language, because the bad guy, he'll sound like this. And then like when you switch it over to like English dub, you'll be like, he'll sound like this.
Oh man,
and he's the bad guy. And it's like that's why people be like sub or die.
I know, because like
Dragon Ball Z, except Funimation. Funimation is the only one who does a good job.
It's pretty good, yeah. Even there's one that was like out of Vancouver, Ocean Dub. Yeah. It's even more nerd. But most of their cast was awful. Like Goku sounded like Kaioken. Piccolo sounded. It was weird. But Yamcha was like, hey, Poir. whoa, who are you? Wolfgang Fest. And I was like, this is the Yamcha I needed, right? Surfer Bro Yamcha.
That's exactly
it was so
who he
badass.
is. That's exactly who he is in the show
Bandit
too.
turned professional baseball player. We always forget that Yamcha's a very decorated baseball player, right? He's like, maybe I'll use my supernatural strength, to make a career out of something. I never thought. Yeah, Goku's living in the mountains, and he's like, Chi-Chi, get a fucking job. He's like, well, I'm training. But like Yamcha's like, okay, I'm kind of just swinging a bat, and then it goes into the stratosphere. So
He's like, I'm just hooking up with Japanese chicks and just playing baseball all the time.
Literally beating them away with a stick.
Poir, or
Yeah.
was it?
Poir, yeah. Hey, Poir.
You gotta get out of here. All these chicks are asking about a fucking flying
Yeah.
cat thing.
Yeah.
What's that flying cat thing? Don't even worry about it. I play baseball.
Yeah. I love them. But no, the sub exactly like you'll have the villain. He'll show up, right, and you'll just hear a voice out of the darkness. His introduction, Sasoburi da na, Mukiwara.
That's
like,
the flamingo right
but then,
there, right?
or crocodile, and then or whatever, and then you have the English. It's like, long time no see, straw hat. And I'm like, why is this allowed?
That was perfect.
Like, why is this allowed? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. And then people will fight you to the death, being like, nah, bro, like, dub is better. And I'm like, just try it, man. Like, the Japanese voice actors are so good.
That's not true. No one I have ever met made that argument to me. It is just lazy people who don't want to read when they watch
because
shit.
I'm missing the fight. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like Dude, just read it quick.
Just
watch
watch one show. Any real anime watcher, after one episode, if you are not used to subs, watch one episode. You get the gist of reading and watching at the same time.
Especially shonen. Like, do you really care exactly what they're saying? Like, get the general idea. They're fighting for, obviously, why they're fighting. Like,
they're talking about protecting someone or finding their resolve.
Or they're introducing themselves. They're explaining their techniques to each other as they're doing them. Like, well, I'm glad that you can shoot lightning because I have anti-lightning. Oh, you have anti-lightning. Funny enough, I have level 2 lightning, and you're like, oh, and then you're just like, that's basically it. Like, they're describing each other's techniques to each other during the fight. Do we really need to read exactly what it is? So.
My favorite moment. And have you ever watched Hajime no Ippo?
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
A little bit. I haven't. There's like the manga
there's 3
is like
seasons,
I think in chapter 1200 at this point.
That's why I'm waiting for the 4th fucking season of the anime.
The anime, yeah.
Great. Yeah. Very Dragon Ball vibes of like where it's story heavy, and then like it's great when the action is built upon the story as opposed to just pure action.
Well, because if the action
like, did you watch the show Kengen Ashura?
I know of it. Like,
yeah,
where it's basically just fighting.
Yeah, Che recommended.
Style.
I watched 2 seasons. It's sick fighting, but the story is just like the story is good too, but there's no build. Like, you gotta see someone like have an argument with someone and then go fight and then have this
There's gotta
trouble.
Be stakes.
There's gotta be stakes. They're just fighting,
and
they're doing that thing in anime that I was gonna say. My favorite anime moment is, let's say I hit you. You're the main character. Yeah. For this fight, at least. And I'm like the guy you underestimated, but you have the resolve. You're the driving force of the story. And I fucking knocked the shit out of you, and you're falling. You're about to get knocked out unconscious. Flashback.
Oh, I know.
Flashback.
Everything leading up.
To everything you were fighting for. What the stakes are. Every anime does it.
Your village.
Just like in Hajime no
Ippo.
Ippo.
To like montage of him training, sweating.
It's just him doing the road work.
Sitting in the rain. Yeah. So good. Yeah, exactly. Like countless hours leading up to this moment. And then right on the brink of,
And then what happens with a lot of animes is the flash in the eye. The eye goes green or red.
Yeah, red, yeah. There's like a line.
The exhale. And then the smoke comes out. And then the
music,
crowd. Dude. When they draw that out, if you don't draw that out correctly, the scene is not as good. You can do that scene, the same exact action, and if you don't draw it out, it's just kind of like, you need to see the stakes. Like, it's cheesy and it's an art, like it's a cliche.
Yeah.
But it's a cliche that works every time.
That's right, man. No, the action, like obviously shonen, it's basically all about fights and exciting fights. That's a whole, like, that's why it's for like teens, right? I want it. But it has to have like, stakes, reasoning. There has to be like a reason to fight. The fighting has to be second, right? Like the story itself has to be good. There has to be a reason. And then the fights are good, but they're boosted because, there's like, so much build up, crazy stuff, right? That's why.
Like what's it called? The name for world martial arts?
Tenkaichi Budokai.
Tenkaichi Budokai. It would not have been as good if Goku and Krillin did not run with the hermit thing on their back. All those episodes do the milk thing.
Yeah, walking up the stairs. Yeah, man, the training.
All that wouldn't have been as good if you didn't show all that.
Yeah, exactly. Krillin getting bullied by the other monks from the monastery. Yeah,
you need to show that
them
stuff.
being underestimated. Exactly. And then the cool thing about that is like they do a time skip, and then there's the training, so they do it all again, and then it's like, oh, they're a little bit bigger, they learn new techniques, and the same thing, and it's like these long, drawn-out fights, but there's so much weight behind it because it's like there's shit on the line, like, oh, I gotta do this for this person, or something like that, so it's just like it feels...
You don't know how much better they are because of the time lapse.
Exactly.
You're like, let's see how much
you find out. Yeah. Exactly. Then you find out when the fight happens, oh, they were doing this that whole time? Wow. Okay.
That's what I loved about Dragon Ball Z and the hyperbolic time chamber. When they came out, you're like, where are they at now?
Exactly. Oh, no, oh my God. Bro. When Trunks comes out and he's taller, his hair's long, his clothes are ripped, Vegeta's all battle damaged, you're just like, what did you... Imagine spending a year in that place with Vegeta of all people. Like, I don't know how Trunks actually survived, but he came out way stronger and looking like a real badass, and it's just like, so good. Even though it was like, a year and a day, it's kind of stupid.
A year and an hour, remember?
No, it was a day.
It was an hour, wasn't it?
No, it was a full day.
Oh, I thought it was an hour.
No.
I thought they went in and like they needed to be 1 hour.
No, in the Boo saga, they were like given 30 minutes, so it equaled like a couple months or something like that.
Some shit like
or
that.
Or whatever, a month, I mean. It's a day for a year. And originally, you're only able to go
a day for a year.
Shit,
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, an hour for a day, that's crazy. But a day for a year.
Exactly, right? No, that makes sense. The science adds. Yeah, it's all there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
I thought it was too fake.
No, exactly. No. It's not that wacky, really.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, but then it also a lazy writing tool as well. Like,
sure.
Because they're just like, oh, how do we get them stronger in no time at all? Okay, boom. Spend a year in a day, then they come out and it's just like, oh, he's, a higher level of Super Saiyan, blah, blah, blah.
And it's exactly where Mr. Popo was even in Dragon Ball. So it's like, why didn't they have the hyperbolic time chamber in Dragon Ball?
Apparently they did, and Goku went in, but he couldn't stand it, but there's no mention of it. Yeah. It wasn't named that. It was like kind of retconned later on. He was like, oh, I was in there at first, but I couldn't handle it. And you're like, all right. Easy for you to say. Yeah, I'm like, so stupid. And he, like, the writer, love Akira Toriyama, but he forgot so much. Super Saiyan 3, he thought that was Super Saiyan 2 because he forgot that the whole Cell saga with Gohan going Super Saiyan 2, he legit forgot because he just like was so barely involved at that point. He was like all, other people, he had producers on his ass being like, we don't like the look of that guy, change him. Oh, no, we don't. These are your two villains, like the two old, Android 20 and 19, the old man, Dr. Gero, and then the fat one. The editor, was just like, this isn't going to do well. People aren't going to like this. Change them to be cooler. So they got the two androids.
And the movie had them more.
Yeah,
right?
Which the...
there was like a Cell special, or like there was
the Android 13 movie that had, a little bit.
That had the Dr. Gero.
A little bit in the beginning, yeah.
And the fact, because the fat guy and the doctor were quick gone. It was all about 17 and 18. And 16 was even gone.
And even then they got, they were taken away quickly too, right? Because Cell shows up out of nowhere. And then
the ultimate form.
That's right, yeah. I love, and if you watch, do you watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged? Do you ever watch those?
Oh, of course. It was the funniest thing
Their
ever.
voice for Cell is so perfect. Like, so smug and confident.
Let's see it.
Yeah.
Let's go back to this.
Oh, Goku. You're so strong, Goku. Yeah. Oh, man, I love it. It's so sad that they kind of broke up those guys.
It's like the final Cell form, right?
Yeah, perfect Cell. I've attained perfection.
One sec.
Like me. Does Gohan know, by the way?
It's the best English Cell voice, in my opinion.
That you let him die. I'm going to power up now. I'd be disappointed if you didn't.
Gold, magic.
Yeah.
And it's like, I tell people too, if you've never watched it, you could watch Abridged and still get the whole...
Everything.
But like, it would do a good job explaining the actual story. Like, they don't really leave out that much, and they don't add too much. Like, I feel like watching it from beginning to end, I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty accurate rendition of the story, right? Because they cut out like filler stuff.
They cut out. That's why there was also another thing called what was it called?
Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Yeah,
They cut out all.
It's like a third of the
5
episodes
episodes for a spirit bomb, and then they cut it down to like 6 minutes. Yeah, I was just like, well, thank you. I'm glad somebody did. Because even as a kid, I was like, this is a bit of bullshit. I was like, no.
World, lend me your power.
Yeah,
and it's
you'd be like racing home from school, and then it's like another powering of spirit bomb episode.
Just
like,
montage of people in like a convenience store being like,
Yeah.
What's
What is
this?
No.
Plants,
No.
all the grass of the world.
Yeah, the
Like,
dew slowly like coming off the grass.
a random like guy in Omaha with a pickup truck and a
They-
dog being like, oh.
One of the better things to happen though in Dragon Ball Z in the fillers was the Ginyu Force versus Tien Yamcha and Chaozu on King Kai's planet. That happened during the power up, which I don't know if they left in Dragon Ball Kai. But you never saw that in the manga, and it kind of showed how strong those dudes got because all those guys got murked by the Ginyu Force.
yeah.
They show up in Yamcha's like solo like against Raccoon, who destroyed Vegeta
Yeah.
5 episodes ago.
He's like, King Kai's got me to a pretty good place.
Yeah, so when people say Yamcha's like trash, I'm like, go fuck yourself, bro. He's like, that's strong, man. That's really strong. He's Planet Buster. Easily Planet Buster.
I wonder how many people have followed this in-depth Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball talk at this point. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
There's a huge fan because every time I post anything related to Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
dude, the people that it resonates with blows my mind.
Yeah.
It's like everyone my age grew up on this shit.
Yeah.
Everyone my age, especially in Ontario. YTV, that's
YTV did it. Yeah, that was their whole thing, right? Dragon Ball Z at 5:30. Dragon Ball Z. That was like one of the little promos, and as a kid, it got me amped, bro. Every time.
I still remember when fucking Krillin got killed and that Super Saiyan
Which
1.
time? No. Oh yeah.
exactly.
Oh,
Good point.
on
Super Saiyan 1 the first time.
Yeah.
I was literally dancing in the. We had a TV in the basement.
yeah,
Me and
yeah.
my brother were like, ah.
Yeah. Because you're just like, what?
Because what was that episode called?
I don't know.
I think it was called like, because I think didn't Vegeta used to call it Ascended Saiyan or something?
Something. I don't know. It depends which dub you watch too. Like they used to, instead of say I'll kill you, it's like I'll send you to the next dimension. You ever remember that? And I was just like, wow.
For censorship purposes?
Had to be, yeah, exactly. Because they're like, no, let's not. This is for children. And you're like, bro, no, man.
I'm going to defeat you in a way that's non-lethal.
Yeah. I'm going to use all my force, as much as necessary to defeat you, but not end your life. Yeah.
Are you One Piece fan?
Oh, buddy, yeah. Big time. I love
Caught
One
up
Piece.
on the manga?
Yeah. Yeah. I read the most because they're in Golden Week right now, I think. But the most chapter 1012. Yeah, yeah, man, 1012
How long has this thing been going for, years-wise?
since '97, I think.
Jesus Christ.
Every week, basically every week. Like they take breaks here and there, but yeah, it's gone to the point where the anime. It used to be like 3 chapters per episode, and now it's like 1 chapter per episode. They stretch it. So I haven't watched the anime in a long time. But they, like you said, for the real fights, they hire on the heavy hitters. And the animation style has changed so much that it's like, it's recognizable from the beginning. But I went back just to watch like old One Piece, and it deterred a lot of people because like, I can't, this animation, I hate it, right? It's so simple. But I'm like,
It's all story back then.
The build up, the story, the characters, the voices, the music, the angles too, right? Like the way they frame the fights is great, but it is very simple. But like, yeah, Zoro is the best anime character ever.
Is Zoro's your favorite?
Yeah, 100%.
I was telling people that no one does sad better than One Piece.
I've actually
One Piece is
welled
like
up a little
exactly
bit.
One Piece. Out of all the animes I've ever watched, the stuff with Fire Fist Ace.
Oh, bro,
dude,
just
all that
whole,
stuff.
And then when they go to the island and then they get destroyed by the pacifista, they all get sent away, and then Luffy's just like defeated because I couldn't save my crew, and he's just like tears are coming down.
Yeah,
and he thinks they're all gone. Yeah.
Death is the most actual permanent out of all the animes. It seems death is the most permanent in One Piece.
Well,
because every anime you can come back.
Dragon Ball Z,
forget about Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, that's yeah.
Of
The Dragon
course,
Balls,
Goku's come and gone like fucking.
No,
you know what I
it's
mean?
true,
Like
it's
like a stepdad.
Yeah,
you know what I
honest
mean?
to
In and
God,
out.
I'm gonna risk my life and do this and just take it and put my life on the line. But it's like we know you're coming back.
Yeah,
like, that's
yeah,
the dumbest.
It doesn't matter.
Never.
And like even the other ones, like I just watched, like even Kengan Ashura. It's like the guy gets his neck broken, and like they take him out on a stretcher, and the next fight happens, and then it causes a cut scene in the in the medical bay, and the guy's like, and he's like beep beep. I was able to bring him back, and it's like okay, you know what I mean? Like so many animes were like I was able to bring him back with this technique or something.
Well, a building fell on him, and he suffered 8th degree burns. He was reduced to a skeleton, but you know the power of friendship brought him back, or something like that. And you're like bullshit. If it's done well, and they can write it into like a way where you're like, okay, I could see how he came back or something, or like he clawed his way back from hell.
If the death
or something.
was ambiguous.
Yeah, especially if
Make
the death
the
is
death
ambiguous.
ambiguous.
Yeah. If it's like a zoom and then the planet explodes, you're like, okay, well, he's dead. Oh, he's not. Okay, well, I don't really care.
But
He came back.
if you show white eyes, that's the unwritten rule in anime that
broken
he's dead.
neck, just let him die.
If you do the
yeah,
and white eyes,
Demon Slayer,
just let the motherfucker die.
Demon Slayer. I'm not doing spoilers, but it's one of those where like main characters get picked off a lot. So
It's like Attack on Titan, huh?
yeah, like you'll be like, I love this guy, he's my favorite, and then he dies, and you're just like, oh, he'll come back because it's a shonen. Oh, he doesn't, he's dead. Or like someone loses.
That's like a
an
shock
arm.
in anime.
It is, and it's like you feel robbed, but it's good. It's real, like
That's why One Piece is the best, dude. I'm telling you. It's like,
people. I don't know. Luffy's taken some hits where you're like, he should be dead, but he comes back.
yeah, but he's like there's if it's the main character,
exactly.
Luffy can't die.
Imagine, yeah. No, I know.
Luffy can't die. You
I
know
know.
he's not gonna
Yeah.
die, and you do that in your math of extrapolating what's gonna happen next. Okay, he's gonna come back this way.
Yeah, and he's made of rubber too, so that kind of allows him to take more of a beating. But like Zoro, they could have done that where, did you see it where it was the end of Thriller Bark where it's just like, oh, you're gonna take all of the pain and suffering your captain has faced, and even though after he was like on the brink of death, and he takes it, and then just like blood everywhere. Like he takes a little piece of it, and then it's like a Dragon Ball Z, like his clothes and stuff, like spikes are coming out of his skin, like just like popping up, and it's and he's okay. Well, here's the full thing, and he just goes in, dives in, takes it, doesn't say anything about it, just like takes it like a warrior dog. But you're like, for sure they built it up that he was going to die, but he didn't. But it still was okay because like it said a lot about the character and how badass he is. But the Ace thing, right? Like they killed him. And he was like everyone's favorite character. Like everyone loved Ace.
Killed him.
Yeah.
And even Whitebeard went too.
Half his head blown off from a cannonball, swords
And he went down with a fight. And
One Piece is so good too because it's like even like the anime and the manga did is so good where it's just like a picture like sort of with the sun shining so you can't really see, and then it just has like, and that day he took 172 stabs from a sword and like this many gunshots and like
anime loves quantitative shit.
Yeah, exactly. Just like how badass is this man where it's just like, oh no, he should have died so long ago, but he keeps pushing through. It teaches you a lot about yourself, right? Like never give up attitude, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to say
I'm
why
past
you love
the point. Exactly. It's one of those things. That's why I love Simpsons. It's like I don't know if it's objectively the best, or I don't know if it's the fact that I watched it every day growing up, and it has that sentimental thing attached to it that I can't separate. Same with Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Is it the best? I don't know.
No.
I can never think of it in a different way because I used to constantly be, like you said, running home being like, yo, I'm going to watch 2 episodes of Simpsons tonight, and I'm going to watch this.
Yeah.
Like I can't forget those emotions and those feelings.
Yeah, it was
They're
so ingrained. That's right. Deep inside, and then you go to school and talk about it with your friends and like toys and like playing the characters in this schoolyard, whatever you want to do.
Do you see yourself? Have you dated girls and hidden the anime stuff and manga stuff? Or are you upfront with it? Because I remember like dating chicks and just being like hiding anime.
Oh,
watching.
big time! Like as a teen, for sure. But as I got older, hell no.
Yeah,
like I'm
you
pretty.
can't. Yeah.
I won't like say how deep it goes because that turns them off immediately. Even my girlfriend of so many years. The second I just like, like
oh, you're on the Immigrant Section. Don't listen to that. Don't watch that episode.
Exactly.
Don't watch that episode.
Yeah, exactly.
It sucked. It sucked.
She'll be like, oh, who's this character? And then it's like from an anime that's not complete. Yeah, I'll be like, oh well,
Or you'd be like, I don't really know. You know everything about.
But I have my bookshelf and like shrine. I've got my Kenpachi sword from Bleach, which is like a 7-foot long katana. And I have
7
my Zoro.
feet?
Yeah, like with the handle, it's insane how tall it is. I bought it at an anime convention for like $300 fucking dollars, and it's apparently full tang, like steel all the way through. I don't know. It was one of those vendors, right? Like with the chin strap, greasy hair. And
Yeah.
It's real. So, but it's heavy.
He went and operated a carny ride right after
100% tilt-a-whirl, and then he opened up the sword stand. Yeah, the same guy. But I'm pretty hard into it. But like, no, I don't think I've ever let on to any girl I've been with how seriously deep it is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I have no tattoos at all. But I feel like I'd be getting anime tattoos.
Oh, my buddy was. He didn't like. He ended up chickening out of it.
Yeah.
But he wanted to get the Straw Hat Luffy.
Yeah, man.
Thing. That's like an easy one. I'm like, you fucking pussy. That's that's an easy one.
I'm talking about like Yeah, I'm talking about like Piccolo Gohan back to back, like him probably doing like
that's a command.
like with the Japanese name Makako Sampo like underneath kind of thing in manga like style.
Yeah,
so I'm
that
thinking
needs to be
like full
addressed.
blown. Yeah, exactly. That's right. That goes a lot deeper than just fanhood. That's probably psychiatric help would be involved.
Have you been feeling this vibe that anime is slowly becoming like more cool to talk about in the open?
Yeah,
Because it's
definitely.
like 10, 15 years ago, it was like,
Yeah.
it
Well,
was like
'cause-
you only talked to people who you knew liked anime.
That's right.
It wasn't like you weren't openly converting people. But now that like Netflix
huge
has so
stigma.
many original animes,
Exactly, originals. They're not even
Like,
just
they're not
playing
bringing
ones.
Japanese shit.
No, they're like
They're-
original, like Castlevania.
they're
I don't-
producing shit,
I don't
yeah.
even think there's a Japanese.
Ashura.
Yeah, I think it's like just I don't know. Kengan Ashura has.
is a Netflix original.
It's
But
a Netflix
but
original.
Yeah, I don't know if it's it's a manga.
Oh, it's a manga.
Yeah, I googled it
So
for
it probably
season
has
3.
Japanese
Yeah.
and then English dub.
Oh no, it's Japanese original.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Because Castlevania, I don't even think there's Japanese. I think it's just English.
But for me, that's a red flag, though. But that
Yeah.
was good. Castlevania. I watched a couple episodes.
that was pretty
of it.
good.
Yeah,
it was okay.
yeah. Like for me, that's a red. If it doesn't start in Japan, that's
I know.
a red flag.
But
That's
I mean,
a red flag.
but the whole team is like Japanese artists, so it's kind of like same with like
they're eating. They get pictures of them. They're eating sushi. Look.
Yeah, I know they're,
look at
they're
me,
real
yeah,
Japanese.
yeah. Look, I eat sushi.
Yeah. His name is Koji. No, but same with. There's another one I think. Oh, like fucking Avatar was like a lot of.
You're right.
Korean,
Avatar. Okay,
Japanese
I guess that's a great
artists,
example.
But it's
Avatar
a
was awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Avatar
but that's
was
like
awesome.
how many of those tried to be like that, or like I don't even think any even exist. You know, like Avatar was very special.
Even by Japanese standards, it was terrific.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
yeah, and
by
it's
Japanese.
enjoyed pretty.
Yeah. Like
globally.
worldwide?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's terrific.
Yeah.
They nailed
I
the
mean-
uncle, the nephew, banished, the levels of power. They
So
just
good.
nailed the tropes that
well,
you
and
need
then
to
the
nail.
fight choreography is on point too, right? Like it's actually fun to watch, like their fight, because they take it straight from real martial arts styles. Like they base the water bending off of Tai Chi, then you have fire bending, which is Wushu, and then earth bending, I think, is Hungar, which is like a very southern style, rooted to the ground, just like, you know. And then air is Bagua, which is like you do spins kind of thing, very like sort of.
Jesus, bro, you know all the martial arts too.
Yeah, well, I took Southern Shaolin Kung Fu for a few years.
As a result of anime, I'm assuming.
I think it came from that a bit. I was like
It
in
came
junior
from
high,
that.
so
Tex,
for sure.
Tex, it came from that.
Yeah.
Look at me. Text? It came from that.
Okay,
I
no.
think it might have been inspired by that.
No, a million
Look at me.
percent. A million percent. Yeah, no. Who am I kidding? Stop running away from it. But yeah, it was like my love of martial arts, and you know, because I grew up watching kung fu movies too, right? Like Jackie Chan and all that stuff. Jet Li for sure. Donnie Yen now is so great. But yeah, that's where it came from, and then just. It's not the same because if you go into martial arts because of your love for anime, you're gonna be
Disappointed.
Right,
For sure.
white belt. Learn this for the whole hour. You're like, what?
Yeah, but have you seen Hunter x Hunter?
It's
Remember,
true.
He fucking punched until he hit
10,000 times in an hour. Yeah. And then he started being able to beat. Yeah.
He was enlightened.
Yeah.
The Ant King.
Yeah. What's his name? Netero. Yeah, the old man.
That was a great.
And then there's
show.
Hunter
Hunter x
Hunter.
Hunter.
But that's the thing. If you've watched Hunter Hunter,
You don't say X Hunter, huh?
no. I
Well,
can't-
however
I
you
can't
pronounce it, I'm
anymore.
assuming is the way that
I
it's
can't
done.
anymore. Yeah.
That's how it's
I got
proper.
too many people, you know. But
X. This guy's a fucking.
Yeah. We did. This guy's talking about being a weebo. But the manga currently is just like so hard to get through. It stopped years ago at this point. Like he's taken a serious break. But the
mental
manga's
health
hard.
reasons.
It's like so hard to get through. So if you enjoyed the anime,
Yeah.
my advice is maybe just leave it at that because you won't get through. Like I don't know. So many people are like, no. You read the comments. No, I'm not reading. What is it? Because it goes into. They introduce so many characters that you don't care about because they're all like
Flimsy.
well, and they're cronies of like these other guys. So there's like honestly like 17 people introduced. They all have their team. Each person has their own power. Each person like explains
too
their
much.
power in full. Like there were points where I'm reading it when there was just like a panel of text, like no picture at all, and I'm like, what is this? Is a book. This is a storybook at this point. I'm not enjoying this at all, and it's all inner monologues of some dude you don't even remember because the name is like really authentic Japanese, like you know. So. It's a good show. You know, we were talking about it, but
let's end on this. Did you watch Rooney Kenshin?
yeah,
You a fan?
the movies, the live action is really good too.
Oh, I never watched the live
It's
action.
good. Like anime live action is usually pretty awful. But this one does it well. Like the fights are great.
That has Rurouni Kenshin has my my favorite move, final technique, the Amakekaru Ryu no Hirameki. I don't know if you remember it. Remember when he fought?
What's his name with the bandages?
Yeah, bandages,
fires?
Shishio or whatever his name is with the fire.
The flint and the
It goes, and then it would be like the 9 thing. It's like
he
just goes like this.
Yeah.
And it'd be like the Amakekaru Ryu no Hirameki. And then you don't see what happened, but it's just like it going back in.
Yeah.
This thing, the
Yeah. My that like
I love if an anime has swords involved. To me, it's a huge head start.
I agree.
Huge head start.
Well, and that's why One Piece is so good because that character Zoro is the anime swordsman from all the other anime where his technique is like, shi, son, ching. And then like, and it isn't until he that you see the, So he could do that. Then the guy turns and runs at him, but then he ching. And you're like, every good anime samurai has that and it never gets old. It never gets old.
Right?
Yeah.
Where like you could literally cut a guy who like turns around and runs like 100 feet from you.
Yeah. You could wait like a week and a half. Yeah, he gets on a plane, goes home, talks to his family, and they're like, oh yeah, shit. Oh my God.
The slice was that quick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He like went like 6 years ahead of time. Yeah. I'm just like, what the fuck? Nah, man. Like that's the one thing.
I can't get enough of it.
No, I can't either, right? And like anime swordsman, it's always just like, I have one purpose. Become the strongest swordsman in existence. And you're like, all right, we've heard it time and time again, but I'm
not
just like,
mad.
no, yeah, and it's like, oh my God, yes, and you're rooting for them, right?
That's why I love Trunks. Right when he came with a sword,
I'm
like, there we go.
We're like, exactly, because like it never really clicked in. You're like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for the whole time in the show, a dude with a sword,
right?
And like, yeah, it's on his
not
back.
a samurai sword.
No,
but,
it's like a medieval style sword,
but it'll do.
But he uses it like a samurai. Like when he shows up and slices all of Frieza's little men, like, he has a power level of 5. I'll take him by myself. And then he like dashes, and it's like black screen, just ching 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 ching, and then they're all like, huh? And then they run at him, and he like and then lands in the sheet, ching, and then they're all like it's like the same shit. You could do it with a knight, you could do it with a fencer, as long as it's like nothing happens until it
goes back into the sheet.
That's when it's just like, okay, this guy's a master. Yeah,
right. They fucking nailed it on Bleach.
Yeah,
right. They nail it every time.
Yeah,
nothing should happen till it's resheathed.
That's right. Exactly. No. That's. Because
and then blood in
everywhere.
They go black and white in Bleach, and he's like, gosh.
Also from the Trunks fight, when he sliced Frieza, and you're just like shing, and then it goes to Frieza's POV, and then like you see Trunks, and you're like. Off. As a kid, I was like, huh! And then Frieza's being sliced, and then Trunks dices him, and then under you.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this guy? With this tiny little blue jacket, and like, yeah, man. Because he wasn't wearing these, like...
I know.
And, martial art clothes or armor. He came in, like, cool.
And it was already enough that Goku just came back with just learning instant transmission, too, right?
Yeah, and we spent how many episodes fighting Frieza, and then this kid shows up and fucks Frieza up and his dad. And you're like, okay, yeah, I get it. Blue hair, the only Saiyan with, like, not black hair.
Instant transmission was the only cop-out, like, kind of Superman-ish thing of all Dragon Ball Z, where it's like...
Oh, it ruined the series.
Yeah.
Completely.
I can do instant transmission.
Other than him doing instant transmission Kamehameha.
That is within one area. And as long as it works within, like, a kilometer radius, that's fine. But when you go to other planets... It's like,
he can go anywhere on any other planet, and it's
into
just
the other world and shit.
Yeah, and you're like, all right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to be dead anymore. He can just go back in, see King Kai, come back out, and you're like, all right. Yeah, exactly. I know. But as kids, it didn't matter.
Yeah,
we loved it.
It still doesn't matter, to be honest.
No, I know. It doesn't matter enough. Like it's like it's not too big of an issue.
Exactly.
At all. Yeah. So I don't know.
But fuck, dude, this has been some deep anime talk.
Like
we can't.
The tip of the iceberg, bro.
We'll do it next time, bro. We can't let our significant others watch this episode, right? We're not going to get any action for a week.
Oh my god! I kind of just blacked out.
Right? I'm just going to call this
episode
the
world tournament from Dragon Ball, and it was like,
I'm going to call this episode the pussy dryer.
Yeah, please do it. Right? Yeah. Honest to God, man.
And then he resheets, and then everything cuts.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, buddy.
This will be the thumbnail of the episode.
watching two men with facial hair just talk about the sheet.
I'm bald.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
I'm not proud of myself. Don't
No,
get me wrong. I'm not like happy with what I've become.
I feel good. I don't know about you,
Yeah?
bro. I'm gonna
Alright.
go watch Jujutsu Kaisen tonight.
Because the first season.
I'm saying
finished.
it's enough. It's enough now. It's been enough people that are like, hey, are you watching Jujutsu Kaisen?
Exactly. Yeah.
There's been enough
No.
people.
And I'm not like one to be like, oh, you gotta jump on this. But like this one, like immediately kind of grabbed me. And the animation, the fights at least, are so good. And the power system, right? Like the curses is easy to follow, and it's
That's
great.
another thing. One of the most important things about anime is you must demonstrate and introduce a power system that is easy to follow and
right.
understand.
Exactly.
I need to know right away what the hierarchy is of the person you're facing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Naruto, it's like, like you know, Hokage
He's
is
a
the top
Chunin.
ninja.
He's a
Chunin. He's a Jonin.
Yeah.
Bleach was like, oh, you're captain, vice captain.
Yeah.
And they have Bankai, you know, like Bankai's their move.
Dragon Ball Z was a power level, and
Yeah.
then the Saiyans.
Yeah, exactly. Super
Saiyan stuff.
Super Saiyan or whatever they had their transformations. It's all about, you know. It's
But
like,
brother, man, this has been a blast, man.
bro, so fun.
I'm fucking like winded.
Honest to God, I
I'm
feel like
winded.
I'd taken a Hajime no Ippo. That's what I gotta get on myself though, because my buddy Sang has been telling me to get on it.
See,
like
3
crazy.
seasons is fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Like at one point in this episode, you literally hit me with so much stuff. I almost got knocked out, but I remembered my resolve of having you on, and I was like,
The roast, the
exactly,
roast, the good times, the open mics, the shows we've done together. and then,
No, I've got to keep talking about
yeah.
super in the know things.
Actually, hyperbolic time chamber. Oh, yeah.
It was what?
Yeah.
It was an hour? No, it was a day. A day?
Yeah, no, it was great. I love.
Matt, tell the people where to find you, bro.
It's just Tex Eknes, TEXEKNES across
gram?
everywhere. Gram,
Okay.
TikTok, fuck Facebook.
Yeah.
If you want, I'm there. YouTube as well. You know, check out my YouTube channel if you'd like. It's just basically me doing stand up.
Hell yeah. As always, in the description, I'm going to put all this man's stuff. Check this shit out. But first and foremost, watch Jujutsu Kaisen, apparently, you know? And after that, subscribe to this channel. And if you want to support directly, check out patreon.com/the Immigrant Section. Bonus episodes, behind-the-scenes content, all that stuff. But from my end, that's it. Until next time, y'all, peace! Yo, and that's the episode. Remember, if you liked it, smash that subscribe button so I can give you updates. And until next time, it's your boy, Abbas Wahab. Easy!